This video I'm going to show you how to make £5,000 in just 5 days. Now it's not crypto, it's not stocks and shares, it's not real estate, but it is graft. You're going to have to get your hands dirty, you're going to break your back, you're going to break a sweat. You've got to think on the spot. If that sounds like something you can do, I'll show you how to do it. Okay, I'm sorry, it was a bit clickbaity. Obviously, there's so many factors that come into play here. I've got material costs, I've got rent, I've got electric, I've got saw blades, I've got all of that good stuff. So, look, it's not £5,000 profit, unfortunately. Anyway, let's get into the video. As per the start to most of my joinery videos, I need to start by machining all of the stock. So this was a 250 by 96 millimeter finish is what I managed to achieve. So I'm just putting everything across the top of the surface planer or the jointer, and then after I will then feed everything through the thicknesser. Right guys, now using my jig template, just going to pop this on there, just going to mark the end. Now I know that I can get one there, I can get one there out of one block, so I just need to cut this, which off the top of my head should be 248, yeah, 248, so I need to now cut 214 blocks to 248, let's go. Bit wobbly up there, isn't it? I just didn't go to plan. At least not all over the floor. To the floor. So I'm now just marking out the final few, and then I can finally make my way over to the bandsaw. Now I'll mention in a minute the problem I had on the bandsaw, but for those who are woodworkers, joiners, I'm sure you will spot the problem straight away. Now, if you're unsure what I'm talking about, it is unfortunately the width of the blade. I thought I had some in stock which was smaller. It's clear I didn't. I did order some which were, I believe this one is 32 millimeters, and I ordered a 19 millimeter one. Unfortunately, it didn't come in time and deadline, so I just had to crack on with what I had. The battle with the bandsaw is done. Now it's time to get all these routed. Exactly what I didn't want to happen has happened. I'm getting a ridge line which is not good. It needs to be flush. I want to avoid any sanding, but I'll have to do some now. But just all these little things which take extra time. Right, so with these sort of things, it's never the problem, it's how you overcome it. I'm getting too much tear out with the router, and also I'm now having to do 4 passes. Reason being, I'll show you. I'm limited with how much cutter I can actually bring out here. Obviously there's a minimum, or a maximum, no, a minimum which needs to be in the shaft or in the chuck. But I can't do that because I need the bearing above the top. And then I'm then restricted by the thickness of this. No, anyway, long story short, I'm having to do 4 passes, which means there's 4 points where that cutter can change where it's running, and even just the tiniest bit of vibration, and as you can see I'm also getting extremely bad grain tear out. So yeah, thankfully they're all marked. The thing is as well, with me doing the router, I was going to have to touch them up with a sander anyway, so why don't I just sand them start to finish.
Wait a minute!
I want to avoid any sanding. Quite frankly, I think I'm just going to spend too much time routering, and it's not going to be perfect. I need it to be better than what that's what that's giving me. So yeah, I better get a mask on, and I better get sanding. Well, all the blocks, I've done the first stage of sanding. This is quite annoying. Done the first stage of sanding. So I now need to just get in here, and my pinky doesn't bend that far, but that section up there, using the bobbin sander. So I'm gonna have to sit down for a couple of minutes because my back is very sore, and then get cracking with them. I'll just show you these. Just gotta get in there and so somehow this machine is just shit, it's getting everywhere. can see here the bearings come out and all the plastic snapped. What's that like? Don't know, 12 hours later. Suppose we'll have to finish them off by hand. Guys, if you made it this far, I just want to say thank you very much. It's much appreciated. If you could leave a like, if you're new here, subscribe. I don't like asking for things off of people, but just a little tap of the button can go a long way for me. Anyway, I'm just going to finish up sanding, and then I'm going to head over and prime all of these with a Graco 360 airless sprayer. It's actually a new tool that I've just bought, and it's saving me a lot of time so far. So I'm going to get into this, guys. Again, thanks a lot. Peace out.